A signal arrived from deep space. Then it disappeared forever. An entire ship was found drifting across the ocean. Not a single person was on board. A centuries-old book exists that nobody can read. Not because the language was forgotten, because nobody knows what language it is. These sound like horror stories. They're not. Every mystery in this video actually happened, and despite decades of investigations, some still have no explanation. What's even stranger? One of them may never be solved. Let's begin. Year 1966. Two men climbed a hill in Brazil. Nobody knew exactly why they were there. Nobody knew what they were expecting. But whatever it was, they never came back. Days later, their bodies were discovered lying side by side. At first, it looked like an ordinary investigation. Then police noticed something strange. The men were wearing lead masks over their eyes. Nearby was a notebook containing cryptic instructions, but no explanation, no obvious injuries, no sign of a struggle, no clue about what happened. Why were they wearing those masks? What were they waiting to see? And why did they die at the exact same place? More than half a century later, nobody knows. Somewhere in a library sits a book that has defeated historians, cryptographers, and computers, the Voynich Manuscript. At first glance, it looks harmless. Old pages, ancient drawings, strange plants. But then you notice something unsettling, the writing. Every page is filled with symbols from an unknown language. Not a language that was forgotten, a language nobody has ever identified. Experts have spent decades trying to decode it. Nothing. Modern computers analyzed it. Still nothing. Imagine opening a book, knowing someone wrote it hundreds of years ago. Yet nobody on Earth can understand a single sentence. Who wrote it? What does it say? And why has it remained unreadable for centuries? No one knows. But unlike this mystery, the next one may have come from somewhere far beyond Earth. August 15th, 1977. A scientist was scanning radio signals from space. Most of what he saw was ordinary. Then suddenly, something appeared. A powerful signal, stronger than anything expected, coming from deep space. The signal lasted only 72 seconds. Then it vanished. When the scientist saw it, he was so shocked that he circled the data and wrote a single word beside it. Wow! That note gave the signal its name. Scientists immediately searched for the source. Nothing. They searched again. Met nothing. Years passed. Still nothing. The signal never returned. Imagine receiving what could be the most important message in human history, only to lose it forever. What produced it? A natural event? A coincidence? Something else? Nobody knows. But the next mystery didn't come from space. It came from the middle of the ocean. December 1872. A ship sailing across the Atlantic spotted another vessel drifting silently on the horizon. As it got closer, something felt wrong. The ship wasn't damaged. It wasn't sinking. When sailors boarded the vessel, they discovered something deeply unsettling. Nobody was there. The entire crew had vanished. Food remained on board. Cargo remained untouched. Personal belongings were still exactly where they should have been. It looked as if everyone had simply disappeared. Imagine walking through a silent ship, hearing only the sound of waves, while knowing every person aboard is gone. No signs of piracy, no signs of violence, no answers. Even today, nobody knows exactly why the crew abandoned the Mary Celeste, but the final mystery is perhaps the most chilling of them all. February 1959. 9 experienced hikers were deep in the Ural Mountains. They were skilled, prepared, and familiar with dangerous conditions. That night, they set up camp on a snowy slope. Everything appeared normal. Then something happened. Something we still can't fully explain. At some point during the night, the hikers suddenly cut their way out of their tent from the inside. Not through the entrance, through the fabric itself. Then they ran into the darkness, into freezing temperatures, some without shoes, some barely dressed. Think about that. The cold outside could kill you. Yet whatever made them leave their tent seemed worse. Search teams later found the hikers scattered across the mountainside. None survived. Investigators searched for answers. Avalanches, weather events, military activity. Many theories were proposed. But one question refuses to disappear. What frightened 9 experienced hikers enough to abandon safety and run into the frozen darkness? More than 60 years later, the mountain still isn't talking. And despite decades of investigations, every mystery leaves behind the same question, a question that still has no answer. What really happened? Maybe some mysteries could never be solved. So, which mystery scared you the most? Comment below.